we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express.
Celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7. I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, all sizes, only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order now.
That's right, guys. Order now. Head over to mypillow.com. Check them out. It helps us out here at the Oreo Express. You get a fabulous, wonderful product, and it's American made and America first. How about that, huh? Welcome back. It's been a crazy day, guys. I'm going to rant a little today. This thing looks a little off here. I might have tapped it. Maybe that's a little better. Welcome back. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Man, I've never heard liberals, at least not in the last 20 years, talk about how they're so First Amendment and how the Jimmy Kimmel thing is fascism and everything else. We got some great stuff. We're even going to play some Jimmy Kimmel's old videos about how he celebrated Tucker Carlson getting canned over at Fox. All these people that were cheering on the fact that Donald Trump was removed from social media. Now they have an issue. Interesting stuff. We're going to talk about all that, and I do got to forewarn you, or I'll wait until more people get in. It looks like let's see how many's in here. Oh, we're getting some people in here. But I might have to end the show a little early. I don't know yet. I might just get interrupted for a moment because, so last night, I hope you guys enjoyed that vigil. That was pretty cool, huh? The vigil over at Fresno State for Charlie Kirk. And then some of the worship afterwards. That was pretty cool. I liked it. I hope you guys did too. I think there's a little issue with Rumble right now. That's the reason why I had to start a whole nother stream. It connected to everything but Rumble. And now it's not updating the Rumble chat. So I got the chat down here, but just a heads up. So last night I get home and I got to run an errand and I go out to the car and the car won't start. And I'm like, the heck? And I was like, oh, is it the battery? And nothing happens. And then I look and the flashing red lock is on. And I was like, man, the key thing, the battery had been going out. And so I was like, man, I asked my daughter, I was like, can I borrow your car real quick? And she's like, yeah. So I go down to Walmart, I get the battery, I come home, I put the battery in and I look online, and once the remote disconnects from the car, you have to reprogram it. So on a Ford Edge, you hit the unlock button on the door and then you turn the key like 9 times and then the things go like this and then you hit a button on the controller. Well, we got through all that. That wasn't the problem. And I was like, all right, we're good to go. And I go to start it. Still has the red lock button. So I look online again. And I remember I dealt with this in a rental car and not Hagerstown, Bunker Hill. We had a Dodge Durango. And it did the same thing. And I disconnected the battery for 10 minutes and plugged it back in. And the key resynced because it has a little chip in the key, the stupidest thing in the world, resynced so that I could start the Durango. And so I'm trying everything till like midnight last night. I'm disconnecting the battery. I'm leaving the key on inside the ignition for 10 minutes. I'm doing all this. So to make a long story short, we have a locksmith coming out because we don't have a car right now. And so that locksmith will be here probably in about an hour and 20 minutes, which is right when the show ends. But if they get here a little early, and then it was just one thing after another. I could go on and on and on, but I'm just praying. I didn't lose it. I was been looking for my press pass for a couple days, and I don't need one, but I always wear it not outside, but under my shirt in case somebody wants to give me problems. And I was like, man, I'm going to have to go have one made up. It's going to cost more money. And so I'm mad at Rachel right now because last time I had to return the rental car. Well, I'm not mad now. Last time I had to return the rental car, it had to be returned at like 10, I believe. And she ran some errands and I was like, hey, are you coming home? It's like 9:15. I got to get the rental car returned. And she's like, oh yeah, I just got one more stop. And I was like, I still got to clean the thing out. So I didn't get a thorough cleaning of it and check every crevice. And so I was pretty sure that the press pass was just gone forever. And she called Enterprise, or no, Dollar. She called Dollar. And the car was, they have it there. And I was like, oh, thank God. That's one less thing I got to worry about. So needless to say, it's been crazy, but we did do Caden's fun run, his jogathon this morning. So that wasn't too bad. He ran the entire time. He was moving. And so good little fundraiser for the school. So, and welcome back. How you doing, El Narco? Patriot Roy D. Let's see who's in here. It's saying 0 viewers in Rumble, but you're all there. We got C. Marsha, Jay keeps asking, Susan Spencer, Becky Boo, Smith & Wesson 9mm. What's up, Cliff? B. Mikey with the American flag. Jan Doe, Chevy, how are you? Jan Garner, Mater TJ. Let's see, Kimber, Old Uncle Bill, Karen Sunflower. Let's see. I was reading some. Jay Lynn's in the house. Texas Bigfoot, Darla Miller. Thank you guys for tuning in. We do appreciate you. So let's get into it. Oh, and don't forget, today will be the last day to enter the raffle. So if you want to help out, we are heading to Phoenix. We're going to do some coverage outside of the Turning Point USA headquarters. We actually got some information, some things they did today. And we will also be at the memorial for Charlie Kirk on Sunday. We will be getting the rental car in the morning. And so just want to say thank you to you all. But if you do want to help, we are still a little short. We have a raffle going on. We will do the raffle tonight at some point. It might be late. But for everybody that donates in $10 increments. So if you do $10, you get 1 entry. If you do $30, you get 3 entries. $50, you get 5 entries. We're going to be raffling off this awesome cross right here made by my buddy Miguelito, Big Mike. And I will be picking a winner. If you guys want to donate to help us fund this trip that we're going to, we got the hotel. We still got a little bit more on the rental car. And obviously gas and food. Hopefully we can raise the money today so we could fill up the ice chest so we don't got to be stopping all the time and we have our stuff right with us. Some cold drinks, some snacks, and some food. If you guys want to get in, Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App $Oreo Army, GiveSendGo.com /Oreo 2024. And as always, if you do mobile or online banking, you can head over to our website, theoreoexpress.com. When you go to theoreoexpress.com, click on the Donate Now button on the homepage, and you will see our Zelle address. And so we appreciate everybody. And again, we still got a little bit more to do before tomorrow morning we pick up the rental car, and we appreciate y'all. Let's see. Let's move into it. So as you guys know, we were covering the show yesterday. And when I said, let me see if anything has popped up, I believe the first thing we came to was Sinclair Broadcasting saying that they were going to remove the Jimmy Kimmel show indefinitely. And we celebrated. We played a little music. And the left, man, I didn't know. The left used to be 100% for free speech. We've taken you to some of those college campuses, Berkeley, where it went from the home of free speech to the home of fascism, with all the leftist and Antifa out there assaulting and attacking anybody that had a different viewpoint than them and trying to silence them. So if you don't know who Jimmy Kimmel is, let's just play a quick one.
Very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Hospitals
This was back in the COVID days.
get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack, yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo, rest in peace, Wheezy.
Rest in peace. Those people that wouldn't take an experimental jab, he wanted them to die. Rest in peace. Wow, that's comedy, guys. That is excellent comedy. This guy has just been a propagandist for the left for quite a while. I don't know what happened to this guy. Remember the Man Show? Was it called the Man Show? I think it was. I actually used to watch that sometime. Thank God for Adam Carolla. At least Adam Carolla didn't turn into a bozo. So as I'm going through, you would have thought on social media that it was Jimmy Kimmel that got assassinated. I'm not exaggerating here, folks. You had people for the calls. Oh, we're gonna boycott Disney. We're gonna boycott ABC. And I was like, this is hilarious. They are eating their own right now. Everything that I don't pay for because I don't believe in their company's values. I don't have memberships to them. I would have them if they were a decent company. But everybody's canceling stuff now. And people are saying, hit them where it hurts. And you have, and I think we're going to show you here in a minute, you have people screenshotting their cancellation to Disney and all that stuff. And saying it's going to hurt them. The truth is, it would take a lot of people to hurt them. And the reason why I say that is because there is estimates that show was tanking so bad. Anywhere from $25 to $30 million a year they were losing. Remember when Colbert, when they said, hey, we got to get rid of this guy because we're losing so many millions a year? They're saying that Jimmy Kimmel might be a little worse off than that. And that's just insane. I'm sorry. That is nuts that they lose that much money. I mean, I think when ABC looked at this on paper, if those people pray, they were like, this is what we've been praying for. Get off the Tonight Show or Jimmy Kimmel Live, whatever it is, and figure out what programming we're going to do yet next, something that's actually profitable. Another thing they announced is Friday during the regular showtime, they will be airing a tribute to Charlie Kirk. And I believe it was Sinclair, and we're going to get into all this. I'm just kind of giving you a baseline here. And I believe it was Sinclair that also said that if they were to play Jimmy Kimmel stuff again, that he needed to donate to Turning Point. Now, I don't think he's come out and said anything unless I've missed something. Let's see, what's this one? Now, I also want to get through. We are a product of cancel culture. Our, to be honest with you, if we had our regular YouTube channel that was canceled at what, 79,000 subscribers. Our Facebook channel that was right around 73,000. But cancel culture, people not wanting my free speech to be out there, are the same ones that are saying, Trump's doing this. Trump didn't do anything. Our income just off revenue would be an easy $6,000 a month. We wouldn't have to ever ask for a donation. That's why we have to ask for donations, is because of cancel culture. We don't make much on Rumble. The other platforms haven't grown. And so when they talk about cancel culture, did they forget about the Twitter files? Did they forget about how they used to applaud when somebody on the right had their account banned for, they weren't inciting I never incited violence. Literally, the YouTube account was canceled because we caught a terrorist going over the border live, and it went viral. Facebook was because we went to, I think it was Tempe, Arizona, and we covered a drag queen story hour where grown men were dancing provocatively for little children. And so that got the outrage because that got shut down. The FBI came to my house for that one because I put a tweet up and I didn't even cuss in the tweet, but and I'm going to cuss really quick just so I can get the point across, pardon my language. But when you go to a leftist protest, they says, who shut shit down? We shut shit down. My tweet said, who shuts crap down? We shut crap down. That was my whole tweet. And the same people that got a hold of Facebook and did all the things that they used to do, sitting from their miserable basement and not knowing if they're, not knowing what they are. I'll say it politically correct. Also called the FBI. And I laughed at the FBI. I think I still got the video on my phone. They said, well, the reason why we're coming is, and he had a piece of paper in my tweet printed out. And again, we've had the FBI here 24 times in three years. Not since Trump's been elected. Imagine that. And I was like, I read the tweet and I was like, yeah, so? Well, I know it doesn't, you're not breaking any laws, but this and that. And I was like, whatever. How about this one? Tucker Carlson also got canned from Fox News at one point. I wonder how Jimmy felt about that.
Fox News has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson. After all these years, they are parting, which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means. Tucker couldn't be reached for comment. He's already on a plane to Moscow to meet with his manager. But what a shock. I mean, what an absolutely delightful shock this is. Now Tucker can spend more time at home tanning his testicles and touching himself to that sexy green M&M. Sadly, he's probably not done poisoning old people's brains. The question now is, where will he do it next? Will he go to OAN? Will he go to Newsmax? Will he crawl back up Satan's fiery beehole from whence he came? We don't know.
I'm confused. You mean he wasn't sitting here saying, hey, what's wrong with free speech? Why should he be canceled for his opinions? Why should he be canceled for exposing actually the truth at that time? And then we got some other goodies here. Eric Swallowswell goes on CNN in a Jimmy Kimmel live. You can't make this stuff up. I'm seriously, me and Rachel, obviously I tell you the car's not starting right now. Oh, and I didn't even tell you the rest of it. And then I'm working on it, and then I'm prepping my show, and Rachel's calling the rental car place, finding the thing, and she goes, the keys are locked in the car. I was like, well, the locksmith's on his way out. He'll probably charge another $75. Don't know what else we can do.
So you are wearing a
were
hat.
We walked to Caden's school this morning because it's only a 10-minute walk. We live in the neighborhood. And we were walking back, and I was just laughing. I was like, man, where were these liberals? Where were these Democrats when conservatives? And again, it's all fake, guys. The outrage, everything. It's all fake. Take a listen to Swallows Well. I got to do this, move this. There we go. Sorry, trying to get this set up correctly.
What does that hat say? You are wearing a hat. You are wearing a hat. What does that hat say?
You're damn right I am, John. I was a guest on the Jimmy Kimmel show. He, every night, has a right to come into any house that wants to watch and entertain Americans, just as Greg Gutfeld on Fox has a right to be not funny and go on his network and entertain Americans. It's a part of who we are, John, and frankly, it should shake every American that the President of the United States is out there firing comedians who make fun of him. That is not who we are, and every American should care and stand up to this.
So you are wearing a hat. What does that hat say?
I just honestly, and I'm not saying this in a, well, I kind of am, but you guys know I'm kind of blunt. And so what you hear on this show, sometimes it is locker room banter. So, I try to keep this show what me and my buddies might say when we're being a little raunchy. I mean, most of the time we're good people and everything, but Eric Swallows Well in that picture for some reason, and I'm an 80s kid, I just want to see some tape like right here but beside it and just see him drive off in the short bus, because this guy is an absolute retard. He still has the right to be in everybody's home. Guess what? He wasn't canceled from Facebook. He wasn't canceled from Instagram. He wasn't canceled from X. He wasn't canceled from YouTube. He has all the avenues he wants. However, his employer did terminate some practices with him in the meantime, indefinitely right now. He is still on, he hosts, does he host Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Because I haven't heard they've taken him off that. They should. He's not funny. You know what would be epic? There's a lot of great comedians. I don't know if you guys find the comedians on YouTube and Rumble and TikTok. And there's some pretty raunchy ones, but you think the people that have came to the top in the last 3 years, a lot of them perform at Joe Rogan's place in Austin. Imagine giving one of those guys an actual shot to be funny and not political. And if you're political, be political, but funny political. If you're one of my friends, I make fun of you. I don't get upset when people make fun of Trump. I get upset when there's an agenda behind it. Like, oh yeah, Trump doesn't even know what's going on today. And then you have Biden in the White House that literally his own press secretary says he does nothing, what was it, before 10 a.m. But imagine giving an opportunity to an actual comedian, somebody that's funny. I think the first, I don't know if late night TV's ever going to be the same again. I think they might completely evaporate late night TV, all of them, and go to maybe a different programming model. Because it's just not working, but maybe it's because the people they have just aren't funny. I can't watch any of that stuff, and I love comedy. Comedy is my favorite thing. I listen to about 3-4 hours of comedy a week in a podcast. How about this one? Chris Hayes. I don't know if this is Chris Hayes on MSNBC or if this is Rachel Madcow. I can never tell them apart.
Disgusting, no matter how offensive, no matter dehumanizing or ABC made the announcement Kimmel would indeed be taken off the air. And this is just the latest chapter in Donald Trump's ongoing campaign to crack down on free speech, dominate the media, and essentially render the First Amendment meaningless. So it was for the journeyman cable news host Tucker Carlson, just fired from his third network. He believed he could say anything, no matter how vile, no matter how disgusting, no matter how offensive, no matter dehumanizing or belittling. And if you act like a sociopath over and over and over and over, you will become unpopular on the national stage. That's just like a basic principle. Over time, probably not going to work out well for you in the long run. Eventually, people will be rightly offended, disgusted by it. ABC made the announcement Kimmel would indeed be taken off the air.
I'm sorry. These people, again, it's fake outrage. They're hypocrites. They are absolute hypocrites. And I just think it's so funny to see this on a regular basis. Hey, and a big shout out to Darren. Darren got 2 entries into our raffle, and he's helping us get down to Phoenix. Thank you, Darren. We will do the raffle at some point today, maybe late tonight, maybe the second show, but it will be today because I don't know if we'll be. I think the only live stream we're going to be doing tomorrow, guys, is on the road, a drive-in chat. Let's see. Trump made a comment.
Jimmy Kimmel was fired.
Yeah, you gotta love Trump when it comes to this stuff. Take a look at this.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie. Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
You can call that free speech or not. And I do think this was one of those things where ABC, this was a blessing. They were losing tens of millions of dollars on this show. We seen Stephen Colbert, and then we watched the protests for what? I don't know. The protesters were out there for 10 days. You had all the left. You had Nancy Pelosi and everybody else screaming, Colbert, Colbert. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And again, it was a favor. Who remembers this? Who remembers this? I was a product of this, and I think some of y'all were too. Take a listen.
Super hard to take down things that were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said, anything that says that vaccines might have side effects, you basically need to take down. And I was just like, well, we're not going to do that. Like, we're clearly not going to do that. I mean, that is kind of inarguably true.
Who is they? Who's telling you to take down things that
it was
that talk about vaccine side effects?
It was people in the Biden administration. I think these people from the Biden administration would call up our team and like scream at them and curse, and it's like they pushed us super hard to take down things that
and curse to get me suspended from different platforms. Kind of crazy, right? I mean, that's coming from. I'm not a fan of Mark Zuckerberg. I think he's a snake. I was hoping, and I said, if free speech truly came back, I would have got my YouTube back. I would have got all my donation sites back. I would have got Facebook back. Nope. I tried to log on about every 60 days. I said, let's just see what happens. Click. Your account has been terminated. All right.
We're true.
Now, when this came out, when the Twitter files came out, were Democrats outraged? No, they were not. Not one. How about this one? James Hernandez, real patriot. He says he shared his cancellation. Cancel Disney Plus, cancel Hulu. Says your subscription will be canceled. The cancel date is 10/14/25. So he's got a little less than a month to watch Hulu. And again, imagine how many people would have to cancel Hulu to make up for the $30 million gain that ABC just got by getting rid of Kimmel. How about this? And another Democrats having a meltdown. Again, folks, I am a free speech. I do not agree. I'm going to put this out there. I would ask Pam Bondi to resign because she ran her mouth the other day and she said there's a difference between free speech and hate speech. No, there is not. Because who gets to determine who hate speech is? That is a problem. And Pam Bondi, that was the stupidest thing she ever said 3 days ago. And she cleaned it up a little. There's a difference between free speech and incitement speech. If I go to a protest and I rile everybody up and I say, if I'm the Ray Epps of January 6th, that's prison time. I know it's not prison times for Ray Epps. Weird. But if I go to a protest to incite a riot, my speech is inciting that. I'm free to say it, but I'm not free of the consequences. So understand, I am 100%. My hat here says our motto has been make speech free again. And a good example of that. We are a partner with mypillow.com. I had to read this thing of, their ethics and their things that they don't allow. And there's been times where I've said those things, but didn't have their advertisement at the beginning. Like when I'm out live streaming live, I'm not promoting mypillow.com. But when I promote it like I did on this stream, when you started it, so if they decide I'm too conservative for them, they have a right to say our partnership is done. That's not cancel culture. I agreed to that beforehand. Take a look at this. Good old Chucky.
Out front now, the Senate Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer. Senator Schumer, your reaction to this?
It is outrageous. It's a page right out of Xi's playbook. This is just despicable, disgusting, and against democratic values. Trump and his allies seem to want to shut down speech that they don't like to hear. That is not what democracies do. That is what autocracies do. And it doesn't matter whether you agree with Kimmel or not. He has the right to free speech. And so it is just outrageous.
Okay. Who took away his free speech? Now, we know that the Biden administration, we just played Mark Zuckerberg, who said the Biden administration contacted them. We know they contacted YouTube. We know that they were in from the Twitter files that before Elon Musk bought it, they were telling them to even censor memes. Memes, folks. Chuck Schumer didn't have a problem with this. And guess what? Jimmy Kimmel can go online right now and rant all he wants. He has free speech. He just doesn't have an employer that wants to pay him for saying the detestable thing he said by saying the shooter was MAGA.
It is indicative of autocracy, and I am just outraged by it. Again, this is what dictators do. This is what Xi would do. This is what Putin would do.
Out front now, the Senate Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer.
I like that he put the Biden regime in the same category as Xi and Putin. Interesting. So instantly, guys, we're not going to play this whole thing, but they're on it. When you're suffering under Biden, when our inflation was at 10%, these people weren't talking about prices. They weren't talking about your electricity costs. They weren't talking about the price of a gallon of gas. No, but instantly, ABC makes it a decision to not air Jimmy Kimmel Live. Look at this. This is funny. I'm going to fast forward it a little. They come out in a press conference this morning.
To weaponize the federal joining us. Yeah. Let's create a little bit more room. House of Commons. Well done, man. Well done. Other duties as assigned. Welcome, everyone. I want to thank my colleagues from the Senate and the House, supporters of the No Political Enemies Act, which we will be shortly introducing. We are going to have a few other members, including Senator Schumer, joining us over the course of this event. But since there are so many, we'll get right to it. The shooting of Charlie Kirk was a national tragedy. It should have been a line in the sand, an opportunity for President Trump to bring this country together, to do whatever is necessary to stamp out political violence that's targeted both Republicans and Democrats, political violence that emanates from both right-wing and left-wing radicalization. But Trump and his lieutenants are choosing a different path. They are choosing to exploit this tragedy, to weaponize the federal government, to destroy.
Hold on. So you're telling me this tragedy that your party is celebrating, your teachers, your staff, registered Democrats that are vote blue no matter who are losing their jobs left and right because of the sick and disgusting things they said. That's how we bring the parties together? No Political Enemies Act? You guys have been calling Trump, you've been calling me, you've been calling all conservatives Nazis? Because we want border security, we want to know? Because we want illegals deported, that's what we voted for? Because we're tired of the murder, we're tired of not knowing who's in our country, we're tired of criminals, we're tired of the free health care for them while we struggle? Give me a break. Give me an absolute break.
Donald Trump's political opposition. They aren't even hiding what they are trying to do. President Trump himself has publicly threatened to arrest members of the Soros family simply for funding groups that oppose his agenda. Laura Loomer, maybe the most influential outside advisor to the White House, called on Trump to be a dictator and lock up and silence his political enemies. And last night, they showed us exactly how serious they are. Trump's FCC forced a major network to pull a loud Trump critic, Jimmy Kimmel, off the air, essentially saying that any media actor that doesn't say what Trump wants them to say about Charlie Kirk or Trump's policies is going to be silenced. That's censorship. That's state speech control. That's not America.
I love that they're saying all this now. So we played the interview with FCC chairman, and he said these people are licensed. And in that agreement, just like I told you, I have agreement with some of the people that we sell things for, it says it has to be in the best interest of the public. So if you're lying about the largest political assassination of my lifetime, and you're blaming a group of people because you're a puppet for the Democrat Party, that's not cancel culture, folks. That's called consequences. Now, again, we've seen probably 5,000 people, if not more, lose their jobs already. Many of them professors, many of them principals at high school, many of them teachers, many of them healthcare workers. All things that are publicly funded. You say, oh, a doctor's not publicly funded. Oh, yeah. Go look at where these hospitals, how they keep the lights on. That's your tax dollars. And I haven't heard a Democrat. I haven't heard this buffoon right here. I haven't heard him say, let's tone down the rhetoric. We don't need to be celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. We don't. Again, I've told you guys, there's been people that died when Dianne Feinstein died. She's a representative. She was the senator out of California. She had been, I think she might have been a senator my entire life, and I'm 47 years old. I didn't celebrate that. I feel bad for her family. If you've lost somebody, if you know how to love in your heart, you don't want, I mean, it's one thing, oh, this guy's on death row. Well, he's not innocent. He can meet his maker. But a lot of the polls that are coming out talking about people on the left, progressives, people that identify as progressive, 26% think political violence is okay. They can support political violence. That's over 1 in 4. And I've been thinking about this a lot. You guys have been with me for quite a while. This is a family program. And when I mean family, you guys know Rachel, you guys know Caden, you guys know my day-to-day activities. I share my life with you. I'm pretty much an open book. And we've seen a lot of violence. We've recorded a lot of violence. We've been assaulted. We've had a strong arm robbery against us from Antifa in Sacramento. And I was talking to Rachel. I was like, when I'm starting to see these polls, I was like, we're going to start doing things a little different. We're going to be a little bit more secure. When I have my family, they probably might go to the town the event is. I don't know if they'll go to the event. And I'm not changing me going. I'll go. I'm not going to, but I got to protect them. I got to protect them. And I mean, we live in Fresno County. I live in Clovis, but Fresno has a lot of the left-wing radicals that work with people like Miguel Arias and those people. They're all kind of one and the same. They committed multiple assaults outside of Adventure Church. 3 of those assaults were on me. 1 was on Jason. If you don't, we never seen accountability. We never seen accountability from our conservative district attorney. Speaking of district attorney, I did get a call. Hold on, let me make sure. Sorry, you guys know the locksmiths has come. Make sure that's not him on my video camera. Nope, it's not him. It's my daughter. I did get a message the other day, and it was from the district attorney. I have court on the 24th for Antifa when they violently assaulted me and my family at a stoplight, sitting in my car. And I'll just give you an idea of what it said because I'm waiting to hear back from them. Let's see. Holy cow. I don't even know. Okay, so it says, I'm the lawyer with the Fresno County District Attorney. I received an offer from the defense today and wanted to run it past you to see what you think. So again, I know that person's not going to do jail time, so I am going to ask for restitution. That's going to be my offer, or I won't take an offer. If they're not going to pay for the $4,400 worth of damage they did to my vehicle, let's go to trial. It's all on video. Obviously, they need restitution and stuff. But a lot of times we don't see. I'm surprised it's gone this far. I really am. And maybe there's a shift. Maybe there's a shift. This was political violence. I was targeted. More. I want somebody to show me in Fresno County where anybody in my group on the right, whether it's the evil Proud Boys or whatever, where have they ever assaulted somebody when it wasn't self-defense? You can't find it. You can't find it. How about this? Listen to Van Jones.
That is why we exist. Not to knuckle under, not to do what we're told.
Oh, hold on. Before I start that, we got this right here. UP True Breed, thank you so much. You are in for 5-2. Thank you so much. It says F Chuck. I can't say the whole thing because I don't got no money for the the swear jar. But thank you, UP True Breed. You are in for 5. I appreciate you. Thank you for your continued support, and thank you for being part of the Oreo Army family. Thank you. We do appreciate you. Let's take a listen. Van Jones.
That is why we exist. Not to knuckle under, not to do what we're told, but to stand up and to say, listen, if you want to pull these licenses, then we're going to go to court, and we'll be in the court of public opinion. But you don't get to go on a podcast and set policy for American media, for an American media institution that's been around a lot longer than me, you, or Donald Trump. This is a red line that has been crossed for our industry, for the First Amendment, for the right of people to speak. There was nothing hateful about what was said, and even hateful speech is protected. This is not acceptable. If you are going to run a media organization that's called a news organization, you have to stand up to government bullying anywhere in the world, and certainly in the United States.
Well, the job should be to speak truth to power, even when.
So, I look at it from a form of incitement and putting off fake news. Now, we need to change something so that we can hold news agencies and these people accountable. They're free to say whatever they want. When they were comparing Trump to Hitler, because he was doing a rally at Madison Square Garden, the same place that Bill Clinton did a rally at, but they didn't have an issue with that. We need accountability. And again, it was less than, 4 or 5 days after. The country is still reeling. And I get it. Democrats are excited. This is fun. Let's barbecue. Let's go play furry.
There are people who don't.
It's just amazing, the outrage, the fake outrage. Listen to FCC Brandon Carr, FCC Chair Brendan Carr. And he, liberals will cry in free speech. Listen to what he says.
That means that you have something that very few people have. No, look, again, broadcast TV is different. We're on a cable show right now. You don't have an FCC license. You don't have an obligation to serve the public interest. Podcasts don't either. Stand-up comedians, whether they're on lots of forms of communications, don't. And Kimmel is free to do that. But if you have a broadcast TV license, that means that you have something that very few people have. And you're excluding other people from having access to that valuable public resource. And it comes with an obligation to serve the public interest. And again, over the years, there's been a rule in place at the FCC that local TV stations get to preempt programming that they don't think meets the needs of their communities. But recently, these national programmers, ABC, Disney, Comcast, NBC, they've been exercising outsized control and power over those local TV stations, and there's been no pushback. And this is a very significant moment because local broadcasters are now pushing back on national programmers for the first time that I can think of in modern history. And that's one of the things we want at the FCC. We want to empower local broadcasters that have the public interest obligation to push back on national programmers so that people have more choice.
Pretty simple. Pretty simple. There's a rule in place at the FCC that local TV stations get to preempt programming that they don't think meets the needs of their communities. And then he talks about the FCC license. It's not cable, don't have it. Obviously, radio stations do. You have to get a broadcasting license. I don't have to have a license by being on online social media platforms. It's just crazy. Crazy. Crying in the Dark says, reinstate the Smith-Mundt Act. Amen. Amen. How about this? We heard Chuck. We heard him say, wow, I can't believe this. Let's listen to Chuck, what he thought about Tucker Carlson, since we're just kind of going through all this.
Rupert Murdoch, who has admitted they were lies and said he regretted it, has a special obligation to stop Tucker Carlson from going on tonight now that he's seen how he is perverted and slimed the truth, and from letting them go on again and again and again. Not because their views deserve such opprobrium, but because our democracy depends on it.
Our democracy actually depended on them firing Tucker Carlson. They always bring democracy up. They always bring democracy up. So it's undemocratic to do it to Jimmy Kimmel, but it saved democracy by doing it to Tucker Carlson. And you know what the funny thing is? The difference between Tucker Carlson and Jimmy Kimmel? Tucker Carlson is bigger than he ever was before. His podcast gets more views than Fox News does. He's on multiple platforms. He gets to do the interviews he wants. He gets to do it how he wants. And I don't agree on Tucker Carlson with everything. I like Tucker Carlson. There's things I absolutely disagree with. But about 70% of the stuff I would agree with. But I don't cancel him. I ain't going to badmouth him. I want him to speak. I want him to create conversation. Man, it's just like sometimes I get upset when people that can't win an election, I call them election grifters. We've had some in California, like, no, but you're not going to win. But I think there's a difference between an election grifter, like we have a governor's race coming up, and I don't know, probably 130 people will be involved in this governor's race. All of them know. Some of them are doing it because they can get donations and live this lifestyle for a while. And others are doing it because they really feel that their talking points aren't heard, whatever it may be. And so you have, the main two always going at it, talking about the common things. And then you got this guy over here that just wants to be in the limelight for a minute so he can highlight some stuff. Here, this. And hopefully that conversation pushes into the main two. Yeah, it didn't age well. It did not age well. How about this one? This is Jimmy Kimmel's tweet. Goodbye, Mother Tucker. That was back in 2023. Gavin Newsom. We got to love Gavin Newsom. There is no such thing as free speech under Donald Trump's reign. Now, if you guys have been watching the Oreo Express for a while, we covered probably more protests than anybody else when it came to California, when it came to doing our own protests. So Gavin Newsom shut down the schools, shut down the churches. There was a few churches in the state of California. Thankfully, I'm going to one of those churches that refused to shut down. They did the 15 days to slow the spread. And I think that was let's be careful. Let's see what we got here. Let's protect our communities. I'm okay with that. But then we had a paddleboarder that was arrested for paddleboarding out in the ocean. We had joggers arrested. You want to talk about free speech, your right to do anything? You want to talk about a dictator? That is Gavin Newsom. Put in a 10 p.m. curfew. The night he put in the 10 p.m. curfew, we were out at the corner with 40, 50 of us from 10 to midnight. We went to his home. We used to hold dance parties from midnight to 2:30 a.m. protesting Gavin Newsom and his tyranny. So please, Gavin Newsom, stop already. You can't win this one. I know you want to run for president in 2028, but it is not going to work. And a big shout out to old Uncle Bill, gifted 5 subscriptions to the Oreo Express. And then we got a Venmo down here. Hold on. Why'd that close up? I don't know. We'll figure it out later. We got Jay Lynn. Thank you. Thank you, Jay Lynn. She's got 5 more entries, and I think she might be gifting that present if she wins. I'll have to double check with her, but I think that's how it was going to go. Again, thank you guys. We are heading to Phoenix, Arizona tomorrow morning. We're picking up our rental car at 9 a.m. Going to come home, load it up, and then be on the road. So you'll be joining us for a drive-in chat, and we are trying to fundraise for gas, the rental car, everything else. So every $5, $10, it all adds up, and we want to say thank you. Thank you, Jay Lynn. How about this one? When Donald Trump was banned, a president was banned off Twitter. This was Jimmy Kimmel's tweet. It said, live look, Trump's bathroom. And it shows a guy with little hands. It looks like a tear on the thing. And it says, Donald Trump, account suspended. So let me get this straight. The party that's crying democracy right now was celebrating everybody in the conservative movement that was banned for speech, not incitement. These people were not celebrating the death of an American citizen that had been assassinated. Interesting. I'm going to show you that again. Look. Jimmy Kimmel, you know he's seeing this. You know I can't wait until he comes out and talks. Let's do a quick thing here. I'm going to give this a minute. I don't do this very often. Okay. There's a little verbal poll, and I'm going to be looking at the comments. Does Jimmy Kimmel come out and say what he did was inappropriate and it has no place on TV, and he apologizes? That's number one. But one in the comment if you think that. Number two, does he stay silent and not address the issue and ignore it? Or three, does he come out and go after Trump and say that his free speech was silenced? This is because of the Trump administration. MAGA doesn't like free speech. Those are my three. I know I could have thought about better ones, but 1, 2, or 3, you guys put those in the comments, and I'm going to kind of get an idea. I'm leaning towards 1, believe it or not. I know a lot of you are going to probably lean towards 3, but Decker MK says 3. Oh, Chris B says 3. Pixie says 3. Sure Renee says 3. C. Marcia says 3. Man, am I the only one? And I'll give you my reason. Miss Hayes says 3 for sure. Jay Lynn says 3. Okay, I'm going to say 1 because I think someone put 4. Paulette says 3. I'm going to put like I said, I'm going to put 1. The reason why I say that is because the MAGA movement is very strong. People don't understand how strong we are. All these people that have lost their taxpayer-funded job over the last week wasn't because Democrats did anything about it. That was because of X and people like me and you that are calling out these people. And he knows his ratings were already tanking. He knows he didn't do a great job at anything he was supposed to do. And I'm not going to say he doesn't work hard. I don't know how hard his job. But I think he's getting a lot of advice and thinking, even if he thinks this is all Trump, think about it. Oh, Trump's bad guy. Well, Trump's still got more than 3 years in office yet. Oh. Daddy's home, folks. Daddy's home. Jay keeps asking and says to help for your car troubles. Been there too. Thank you, Jay keeps asking. Thank you. Yes, probably in about, I'm here. All right, I got to end the show. The guy's here, guys. I will do another live. Again, thank you to everybody. If you want to donate for the rental car tomorrow, we are going to Phoenix. Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, and givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. We want to say thank you, and we will see you soon, guys. God bless.